I want to be real. I honestly do want to say, I feel like nobody's talking about the San Antonio Spurs. I know I just said that about another team, the Utah Jazz, but really it's just the fact that the Spurs are turning around their season, and it started really awkwardly because there was a player only meeting. But Derrick White, DeJounte Murray, Lonnie Walker must have also heard my videos where I called him a pussy because he does not want to initiate contact or have any sort of contact because he has amazing athleticism and all the abilities to be great and be a guy who goes to the foul line consistently. But as of late, I want to say, Lonnie Walker, you must have freaking heard me. Now, Devin Vassell, coming alive in year two. So I want to hear your thoughts right now. Do you guys agree with me that this is a good and young team that'll surprise people? Now let's talk about it. Doug McDermott continue to be the perfect signing for the Spurs. This guy's mastered the curl 3-point shot where he does like a curl set and he goes up and then catches it on the curl and just shoots it. I mean, on the year he's shooting like I think 44% from three, and he's been phenomenal. He's exactly what they need from him, and he honestly does give them some rebounds. He just plays very efficiently. Then Jakob Poeltl, again, continue to show that he's one of the best rim protectors in the league, and he's a solid. I think he's definitely a top 20 at least, top 15 arguably, center in the league. Drew Eubanks continues to show his value as a guy who can play power forward and center, and really showing that he's working on his three-point shot. Bryn Forbes, I mean, certain games we see more of him, but he's a three-point shooter in the same vein of Doug McDermott, that they just come in and shoot. That it's something that, our man Greg Popovich loves. And Devin Vassell, I know he's 1 for 5, but his rebounding ability, his defensive ability, and his confidence in his shot that he displays is awesome. Because I can't wait for the day that it's Devin Vassell, Joshua Primo, and you could argue Derrick White, DeJounte Murray, and maybe Jakob Poeltl and Keldon Johnson being the guys. And Keldon Johnson, I know he's missing time right now, but he's been good too. I just think there's a team that they are getting better. What they're able to do is they force the other team to really just beat them by just trying to outshoot them. Because the thing with the Spurs is that, I don't know why I just choked up on their name, but the Spurs is that they take very, very much like good shots, okay? The Spurs don't really take that many like mid-ranges, okay? If you think about it, they only took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mid-range shots, okay? And out of the 5 mid-range shots, they made 2 out of 5, okay? But besides that, they're only shooting in the paint or the three-point line. And it's working because what they do is, look, Derrick White's playing phenomenal. First off, Derrick White and DeJounte Murray are the two guys to be credited for this whole churn of events, arguably, for the San Antonio Spurs. But it's really because they're the main creators. They're the main scorers, okay? They create for everybody else, and they score the most amount of points, okay? And it works great, okay? That's how you're going to win. But what I want to say is, what I do really enjoy about this team is the way that the other players play. The other players know that the guys who are going to be taking arguably the least efficient shots are usually going to be Derrick White and DeJounte Murray because they're going to be driving a lot more. And Lonnie Walker's also been putting up points and going to the free throw line. So Lonnie Walker's noticed that he has to be the sixth man. And Drew Eubanks, Bryn Forbes, Devin Vassell have gotten, and even Thad Young on some nights, and have gotten the memo that besides Lonnie Walker being the scorer, there needs to be another guy who has to pick up the pace when DeJounte or Derrick White are off the floor and the bench comes onto the floor. And, I mean, Keita Bates-Diop does a good job defensively. Not the best scorer, but what they're able to do right there is like, hey, players are interchangeable. Everyone's able to switch, basically. They have their big man in Drew Eubanks, Thad Young, and Jakob Poeltl. And the occasional when we see Jock Landale. My only reason why we're not seeing Jock Landale, by the way, guys, is Spurs don't really play their rookies. I know he's 27. I know he's a pro. And Aaron Baines, I believe, when he played for the Spurs, I think most of the other Spurs who came overseas at an older age played a lot more. I just want someone to... My thought is just maybe he's just still learning the system. Someone tell me, why isn't Jock Landale playing? Trey Jones, another guy who defense pass first, good backup point guard. It's just this team is good, deep. I don't think a lot of people expect them to be this deep. So yeah, I just sit here and I'm like, hey, there's a lot of interchangeable stuff because like when the real starting lineup is Jakob, Poeltl, Keldon Johnson, Doug McDermott, Derrick White, DeJounte Murray. Keldon Johnson, DeJounte Murray, and Derrick White are the three main scorers in the starting lineup. Then Doug McDermott and then Jakob Poeltl, obviously. Jakob Poeltl is just told, hey, putbacks, rebounds, or just any shot within 5 feet. Doug McDermott, just shoot 3-pointers. Okay, Keldon Johnson, you can do you can create for yourself, but you're the third option with, arguably Derrick White and DeJounte Murray taking turns being the co-ones, And off the bench, Lonnie Walker's got to be the sixth man. And then with the continued development of Devin Vassell and Drew Eubanks, those guys, right there you got Devin Vassell, small forward, Lonnie Walker, the shooting guard, Drew Eubanks, arguably the backup center, backup power forward. Then you got Trey Jones as a defensive pass first backup point guard. And, Bryn Forbes as the guy who can come in and, if they need some three-point shooting, he'll give you that in bunches. And Thad Young, the vocal veteran, mentor for these guys. What do you guys think?